Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you about all the tools that you'll be needing to start your own boutique in 2022. So I will briefly be going over the documentation you need to get started as well as the actual tools. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. First and probably most important thing that you will need is a seller's permit. And don't mind me if I'm looking down, I just want to make sure that I got all the important things in this video. So what a seller's permit is it's basically just a wholesale license where you can buy wholesale items without paying the taxes on them. And without this, a lot of legit vendors such as fashiongo.net, Orange Shine, LA Showroom, etc. will not allow you to even log into their website. So that is the first and most important thing that you will need. I'm not going to go into details in this video, but if you guys want, I can make a video about how to go ahead and get your seller's permit. That is the first and most important thing that you will need. So the next thing you will need is a domain, and basically the domain is just your website name. So for example, fashionnova.com, that is a domain. prettylittlething.com, that is a domain. fashiongo.net, that is a domain. So you will need that, and I recommend to get yours from GoDaddy because when you get to picking your host for your website, GoDaddy makes it really easy and seamless, and it's pretty much accepted anywhere. So I highly recommend that you get a domain from GoDaddy. And there used to be a little trick you can do where you type in 99-cent domains on Google. I'm not sure they do that anymore, but regardless, I will put a link in the bio in case you are interested. So that's the second thing we will need. The third thing we will need is a host, and I highly recommend that you use Shopify, but there is a plethora of hosts that you can choose from. It's just that Shopify has a really good backend so that when you do grow, you can really see all of your analytics and see who's buying from you, your average order value is, how many customers you're getting on average, where they're purchasing from, and things like that. So I recommend you get Shopify, but of course you can look around and shop around for other hosts. And then the fourth thing I recommend before we get into the tools is a forwarding address. Now, the reason why you would want a forwarding address is because you don't want customers to know where you live. And when you're just starting out as a sole proprietorship, you're probably not gonna have the money to get a warehouse or a fulfillment center, and you don't want to put your real address for your customer return center. So all that you have to do is get a forwarding address. I use Ship7 because they are the cheapest, but I will link an article below that can help you decide which one you want to pick. That is the fourth and last thing that I would say you need as far as documentation and I guess the legal things to get started with your boutique. Things like an LLC and a trademark should wait until you're making money consistently because you want to really just test and learn from your business first before you go and put all your money and effort into the legal side of things. So that's it as far as the documentation stuff. Now the tools. I want to talk about the tools that you need for your boutique because I have learned a lot of things that I did and did not need through the process of having a boutique. So the first thing I would recommend to you is to have a thermal printer. I have the ArcScan 2054A, and I like this one a lot better because with the Rollo printers that a lot of people have, they have issues most of the time, and this one I believe is more affordable as well as durable. So if you're interested, I will put a link in my description below for this thermal printer. And the next thing I would say you should invest in is either a little sewing kit like this one. I also got this one from Amazon. I think it was like 15 bucks. But if you're really looking to expand and take your business seriously, I highly recommend that you invest in a sewing machine because that is just gonna take hours off your hand, especially when you start getting slammed with orders and you have to manually pick all the tags off and sew them back on. So I recommend you invest in a sewing machine, but if you want to start off with a sewing kit, that's fine too. And like I said, I'll link that down below. The next thing is you want to get these little, I'm not really sure what they're called actually, but they're just basically some little tools to cut the clothing labels. I'm gonna just get up close and show you guys. So that's kind of what it looks like. So basically what you'll do is you'll go in and rip the seam, and then it'll take it out really neatly without making a mess or damaging the clothing. So these are really good, and they actually come in a pack with some little clothing shears as well as a bigger one if you want that. So that's the other thing I recommend you get. Okay, so the next thing, and this is important, is you need a hang tag gun. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen these before inside of regular retail stores like Forever 21 and Charlotte Russe. And what it does is it actually just puts your hang tag through the clothes or through the label. And basically what you do is you just take it and you'll take your actual hang tag, you put it through the hole right here, and you'll go ahead and poke it through, and then take the actual label on your clothing, poke it through, make sure you're holding it in the back like this, because otherwise it's gonna slip and it's not gonna go through properly. So you're just gonna do that, go ahead and press it down and then let it go, and it will hang it off just like that. So you should definitely invest in this because branding is important, as well as the barbs that go with it. Now, just a little tip I can give you, when you place an order for the actual barbs, make sure you're getting the 2-inch barbs and not the 1-inch, because what's going to happen is when you try to take nice pictures of your clothing and you're trying to get the tag to hang real nice so the consumers can see your brand and they can see the tag and all that good stuff, you're gonna have a hard time doing it with these because of how short they are. So you're not really gonna be able to hang the tag out of the clothing. And I actually have an example of this mistake that I did. So I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. So this is a bandeau that I sell, and I have a clothing tag attached to it, but because the barb is so short, it's having a hard time hanging off nice, and I have to kind of pull it down to really give it that same Instagram effect that other people have. So if I had a 2-inch barb instead, this would hang off flawlessly and I can make it look a lot cuter than what it is right now. So it's kind of hard to see on video, but I think you guys get what I mean. So if you do end up ordering barbs, definitely get the 2-inch barbs. Do not get the 1-inch like I did. That is a mistake I definitely made starting out. So get the 2-inch barbs. These are also optional, but if you're going to be selling things like jewelry or purses, you want to get these accessory hang tags that I also got from Amazon. The way you put them on is you'll just literally push it through the hole on the hang tag, wrap it around, and then seal it just like that. So I know it's a little hard to see, but if you guys want a video on how to private label or where I get this stuff or anything like that, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll make sure to make it. And now the actual clothing labels. I get mine from a supplier called Wonder Label, but you can honestly source these overseas, and that's probably what I'm gonna do next because it's a lot cheaper and you're probably gonna get the same or better quality. So they're just clothing labels that look like this. So it just says your logo, and this is what you're actually going to sew onto your clothing after you take off the original labels. And another tip I can give you is get the silk ones, because one of the things that I noticed with my customers is that they say that these get really itchy and then they end up just ripping them right off, and it destroys the whole purpose of branding. So get the silk ones so your customer doesn't rip them off and so it doesn't irritate them, because that way if somebody asks them where they got their shirt from or where they got their dress from, they can just pull out their tag and say, oh, it's from XYZ, and then that person can potentially go and purchase from your store as well. So make sure you get these, but get them in satin or silk if you can. Okay, the other things you're going to need before I start getting into branding and packaging is the actual hang tags, which I will link my vendor down below. A little hack for your hang tags when you're first starting out is you can actually just order some business cards on this one website. I can't exactly recall the name right now, but I will link them if I can find them later on. You can just order laminated business cards and it'll be much cheaper than ordering real hang tags. So I literally just made this on Canva, and it doesn't even look that good, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to get better ones. So yeah, the hang tags are something else that you will need. Oh, and I almost forgot, if you are getting a sewing machine, you need to get invisible thread. So what this thread is it's basically just one clear color. That way you don't have to keep switching out the colors every time you have a different color clothing. And then also when you make mistakes with this, it's a lot easier to clean it up and you don't really see the damage as much as you would with normal color thread. So this is really good because one, you don't have to change out the thread every time, And then 2, it's really easy to correct your mistakes. So that is my other golden tip for you in this video, is to get invisible thread if you are going to be using a sewing machine. Now, I think the last tool that I'm going to talk about before I get into the packaging is the shipping scale. And the reason why this is so important is because you don't want to be overcharging your customers on shipping, right? We've all probably bought from a business where we get to checkout and then the shipping is like $10 and then we're just like, no. So you want to have this because you want to be able to charge your customers an accurate shipping rate. That way they are not overpaying, but you are also not taking the hit for the shipping charges. So this is really important. Make sure you are weighing everything out and putting it into the weight box that is on Shopify, because when you're expanding, you want to be able to do this seamlessly with no issues. And when it comes to international shipping, that is going to be a lifesaver. So just trust me, weigh all your items, and then just thank me later. So that is the last tool that I'm going to talk about before I get into the packaging. Earlier in this video, I was saying how branding is really important. And the reason why is because you don't want them to see it and just leave it out on their porch for like 5 days because they don't know who it's from. You want to make sure you're having good packaging and you're coming with your A game, because that is what the customer is going to remember. So to start, you can probably just start with some custom colored poly mailers. I like these black ones, and then I just put some of my stickers on it. So it's kind of like a black and pink scheme here, and then the customer will get their item in a little mesh baggie like this, and then I will wrap their item with pink tissue paper, and then depending on the item, I'll seal it with a sticker as well. So that's how my packaging looks for my store if you want some inspiration. And then I also put a return card like this. And I also designed these on the free version of Canva, so you can do that too. So this just basically tells them to fill out the item number, the color, the size, the quantity, and all that good stuff, and then tells them to refer to our return policy up there. I also have a space for their order number, as well as where to send it to, which this is actually my forwarding address that I need to change. And then I also give them a thank you card that looks like this. So it just has my hashtag up here so that they can know to tag us, as well as my Instagram handle. And then on the back, it just says, hey babe, thank you so much for your order. We appreciate your support and would love to see your style, blah, blah, blah. And then it just basically says to tag us and to put in our hashtag to be featured. So use Canva to your advantage. I'm sure you've heard other YouTubers say it as well. Oh yeah, and also don't forget to get printer paper with your printer. So like I said, everything will be linked down below. I think that's really it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or you feel like I missed something, just leave your comments down below and I will do my best to get back to every single one of you. And again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!